it's a weird game, footy, isn't it? When you get a really good win in that last week and you get cleaned up in a big way tonight.
4 seconds. Is there physically time?
No free kicks.
Those that have left have come back. 4, 3, 2, 1. The Swans hang on. Nothing can make up for the pain of a grand final loss, but making life difficult for the team that inflicted those wounds will have to do. A win for the Swans and for Dean Cox. And the Lions' top 4 chances are now skating on thin ice.
There's a lot of things that I've mentioned tonight. Accuracy, them winning the ground ball in our front half. So I did a lot right, did a bit wrong, and we kept going. We kept hanging in there and having a crack at the game. So, yeah, disappointing to lose though.
Yes, the curious case of the Brisbane Lions. Smashed Collingwood last week and then dropped another game at home, their 4th at the Gabba this season, to the Sydney Swans. Kingy, how did the Swans do it?
Well, they went back to old school Sydney, the old slingshot Swans under John Longmire, when they used to just rope-a-dope, kick it in if you like, but we've got the whole team back here. It wasn't just that, it was more than that. It was the way they won it back and then they went at them. And their handball game was really creative and strong. And we know that trade-up defence, if you can start the leapfrog, you can really have some fun out the back. And their ball use was just sublime. I love the way they charged through. 5 goals, 6 from defensive 50. That's a huge number. I mean, you normally get a couple of goals max from this type of opportunity. So to get 40 points is ridiculous. Brisbane went in 65 times, and they stood up unbelievably, the back 6. And it's probably as good a defensive performance as you'll see. We're talking about Collingwood. That's the comparison. So when you're in unison, everyone leaves at the same time. So you roll up to cover and trade, and then the next bloke comes up. Fletcher's caught in the middle. It's not really doing anything. You're not really pressing. You're not really folding back. You just get leapfrogged. And they did this all day. It was terrific.
It was terrific. It's amazing these teams that can't play finals and they're just playing with a bit more, a bit
reckless
more,
abandon.
Yeah, like Melbourne, now Sydney as well. But they've got the talent. I mean, some of Nick Blakey's kicking out of the back half. You've highlighted all year. Kingy was the lead, and the run of Goulden and Warner, and obviously we can't talk much more about Isaac Heaney and how brilliant he is. But it was a strong performance.
So this is there's more than one way to win a game, obviously. This is just a one out of the box. 31 intercepts in the D50 just shows that you're defensively stable. They've got the matchups right. Everyone's in the right position. And when it was go time, I mean, Heaney was having a ball. He centre forward pretty much exclusively. Blakey in the right spot. They're going to be a force again next year. They know they need a couple more parts to really fill the puzzle. But look out 2026.
They're going to be busy in the trade period, that's for sure. Wouldn't they love to have their start of the season back, Kingy? When they play Tom McCartan forward.
Don't bring it up.
You put that on the agenda. We now need to take a look between the cracks, though, thanks to Workday on the Lions, Joey, because you're a bit more glass half full on Brisbane.
Well, I just want to put into context how injured they were. So when you start looking at the teams that are playing finals, and King, you'll touch on Geelong, but almost a full bill of health. Adelaide only missing 2 or 3 players, Michael Annie, Rochelle. Collingwood only missing a couple, we touched on them. Fremantle, just Young and Wagner. Gold Coast, even Hawthorn, Day Weddle and McGuinness, and Western Bulldogs pretty full strength. Waitman and Treloar, we know, out for the year. So there's only really GWS that have got a few injuries, but when you take a look at this Brisbane Lions team, they are missing up to 8 of their best 23 at the moment, particularly the side that went out on the weekend. And everyone just sort of goes with Brisbane Lions, they're stacked for talent. They're stacked, they'll be fine. Well, you look at the players that played on the right-hand side on the weekend. If you can replace them with the players on the left, it makes a massive difference. They aren't necessarily stacked depth-wise. So there's some decent players in there and some youngsters that'll be good down the track. But, I mean, you've got to get... And the question is, though, whether how fit and healthy these guys can be. What can Kai Lohmann get to finals time if he comes back? Because he's had a horrible year with injury. McInerney, a lot of talk about him banged up. Lockie Neal. We think Leicester will be fine, but Starcevic gets lots of niggles, and he's really important. And Coleman's probably the most unlikely, if at all, to come back and play. But I just thought it was worth pointing out. That didn't even include guys like Ainsworth, Payne, McKenna, Lincoln, McCarthy that have already put a line through their season. So if they can get fit and healthy, I'm not concerned, but there's just a question mark there about their health that you're so big on.
Health's your best player at this time of year. There's no doubt about it. But this is why we talk about being a marathon. There's a lot of management in this.
And this team's been up for a long, long time, year after year after year, playing top four.
So it's on them even more to manage and not have them get to this point. And some of them are unavoidable because they're knee injuries or they're collision injuries. But we're going to talk about Geelong later on and how they've just taken players out sporadically, rested them at different points in the season. You've got to prepare for the marathon, and if you don't, this is when you run aground.
Have a look at the finish to the season. It is enormous.
Huge.
Fremantle on Friday night. You'll catch it only on Fox. That will be must-watch. The stakes are enormous for both of those two.
Can they respond? Can
football
they get back?
clubs? I think so. I mean, we've seen the Swings in form. They can control the game from the midfield against Fremantle. Huge test for the Dockers, Joey. But this is one of the games of the season. So much on the line.